It was a breath of fresh air after watching Mike Tomlin. Now, Tomlin's quarterbacks would have standout moments in August, like Kenny Pickett a couple of years ago, but this whole offensive system looks so much better under McCarthy, one fake game in. And in this now endless cycle and pursuit of trying to find someone who can be a long-term quarterback, we watched two guys in their debuts both play, in Aller's case, really well, A-plus level, 3 for 3, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. In Howard, absolutely the good outweighed the bad. And he had probably the best drive of any quarterback last night at the end of the first half when he got the Steelers in the end zone. McCarthy said there were peaks and valleys. That's probably true. There were a couple of plays that he missed. The first possession when they punted, he probably rolled out to the wrong side and had nowhere to go with the ball, but he also had gone the longest amount of time without playing in a game. So I want to give him a tiny free pass for that. Both guys were so good that if they keep this up, Chris,
yes,
I would make Mason Rudolph the odd man out.
Oh, so would I. I mean, that's probably the easiest. That's the easiest answer I could give you today on almost any of this.
But do you think they will? Because
No.
there was McCarthy again channeling his inner Mark Cabali and waxing poetic about what Mason Rudolph was able to do while he was out there.
I think that the problem I have here is that Mike McCarthy expects to hit the ground running here because he believes in Aaron Rodgers. And if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, Mike McCarthy does not want to just automatically be fighting an incredible uphill battle. He wants a veteran backup. He won games with Cooper Rush in Dallas.
But he wasn't a veteran Rush. He was a young,
I know, but he
name.
He was a guy, I guess, that they maybe felt like was a little further along than a Will Howard.
Because I'm hoping for McCarthy hubris here.
That he believes in the guys that, A, the guy he drafted, and B, the guy that had never played an NFL game before last night.
I'm hoping for McCarthy arrogance. He said...
Hoping and expecting are two different things, so tell me what you're expecting. I'm hoping for it, too. What are you expecting
I'm expecting
him to do?
that...
McCarthy hubris or McCarthy moderation?
I'm expecting that McCarthy understands that the owner and the GM also like Mason, and he doesn't dislike Mason. So he's going to keep Mason around, and they'll probably do the four quarterback thing until they can't. That would be my hypothesis right now. But he said on McAfee, we played the clip, those guys look good. You know why? Because my system works. I'm the genius that came up with it. I'm the offensive quarterback smarty pants. Well, if you really are, if you believe those things, then you should trust in your ability to get Will Howard ready to play a game if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt.
But I think you said the important part. The GM, but especially the owner, still like the veteran backup.
The owner, I think, adores Rudolph.
Well, I think the owner, saying it without saying it, feels like Rudolph has been done wrong since the day he got here.
Yep.
By Ben, by other people, by other forces, by Tomlin, by everybody.
Yep.
And has like this weird soft spot for how much of a professional he's been. But the owner should also be enough of a ball knower, because he was up there in the booth with Pomp and Batch bemoaning all the penalties.
Which was great.
I did kind of like Art just actually coming out of the shell a little bit to do all that. It was funny. He should also know that when Mason went elsewhere, it did not go well, and that there has not proven to be any kind of actual market for him when he has had a chance to cash in to whatever degree a guy like him can. My reasoning for keeping Will Howard and Drew Aller and just having that be your 1, 2, 3, those two behind Rodgers, is if Rodgers gets hurt, as much as I don't think they have a super high ceiling this year, although watching McCarthy's offense makes me feel a little better about that, I still don't think they're going anywhere. Will Howard isn't coming in as a backup and pulling a Tom Brady routine here. Drew Aller, as much as I loved watching him look like a man playing against children yesterday, because he should have been, he's still got a hugely long road to go. You're not doing anything if Rodgers gets hurt. I don't think Rudolph is good enough to really float you for more than a week or two. Rudolph played last year. He absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
Just go with the young guys.
I wouldn't want to take a 6th or 7th for him right now, because that seems low, even for a guy that doesn't have a long-term contract. That seems low for a guy that I do think is good enough to win games as a backup in the NFL when it's the most valuable and important position.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has more value than that.
Mm-hmm.
If you twisted my arm, I probably would trade him for a 6, but I don't want to. If somebody called the Steelers or the Steelers made a call and could get a 5th-round draft pick back, I would trade him immediately. That would be the round for me, where I would say, okay, yeah, we like him. We think he can win games for us, but the potential of the other 2 guys is too much, and they played well enough. It just makes more sense to go with those guys.
Can win. You know what I thought Will Howard proved yesterday that we already knew about Aller? I don't think Will Howard has like spectacular NFL mobility. I even think Kenny was supposed to be this good athlete who can move around in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I think we saw that he doesn't have the anticipation or the high-level athletic ability to do that. I don't think Will Howard really can run as a weapon in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's a damn side more mobile than Mason, though.
Definitely.
Mason did one of those classic Rudolph throws. This is complimentary. He stood into a pocket that was collapsing last night and made a good throw over the middle very early in that game. But, like, that guy is not going to do anything with his legs for you. And so why wouldn't you just, like, punt on the idea? If somebody gives you a 5th, yes, I'll drive Mason to the airport, and he can have an awkward conversation with me where he can never get 2 words out in a row without sounding unsure of himself. If someone gives me a 6, I'm probably paying for his Uber to the airport. I just think it's time, man. You know what it would symbolize to me, too? That if they actually got rid of Mason, we would probably both assume McCarthy was ready to go with the young guys, the hubris thing you mentioned. It would also tell me that Art was willing to sort of turn the page from one of the last vestiges of the Tomlin era. That you had this guy, that he was this weird flashpoint for fans, that Omar Khan was ready to say, yeah, that was my predecessor picking him, saying he had a 1st-round grade despite picking the receiver he threw to before him, and that they would just be done with it, man. Let Mason Rudolph go somewhere else and be somebody else's backup. He is more useful to a team. We went through this, the teams that are better rosters probably than the Steelers, that don't have good backups. Yep. He's more useful to one of those teams than he is the Steelers.
You actually nailed this. I just went back to look at the number to make sure it hadn't changed. Yes, you have Kabali and you have the actual Steelers who, really build up Rudolph now and make him seem like he's a valuable member of the team. Poll question that we ran at 93.7 The Fan. Who should be the Steelers' QB2? This is after last night's game. Will Howard or Mason Rudolph? 76% of people said Howard. And that's not close, man. That's a blowout. That is a vast majority of people who are like, yeah,
because I think
Mason took us to the playoffs once and
people are ready to be done with it.
Came in and Tomlin probably screwed him over, but get him out of here. Sayonara. No point. Waste of time.
People might feel Mike screwed him over a little bit. They don't feel like Mike screwed over the Steelers by screwing him over. You know what I mean? There's a difference there. They might think that Mike jobbed him and that was just not fair. If those people thought that Mike was inhibiting the Steelers from maybe actually stumbling into their next franchise quarterback, people would foam at the mouth.
Oh, I do think there are some people who feel that way, but not a lot.
There are some, but there's not many more people who feel that way than there was like when you were on an island about Pickett and Pickens. It's like 10 more people than that. And Kabali happens to be one of them, and he's a very loud
I don't
voice.
even think Mark feels like Mason Rudolph is actually a starting quarterback.
Well,
I think he just feels like he's a great backup.
Rodgers is his boss's friend.
Here is Dan on the Fan. That's interesting. Hi, Dan. You're on the Fan.
Hey, gents.
Hey, man.
May I sidestep back to Chase Daniel for just a second?
Sure.
I used to go get the Saturday morning paper just so I could see his box score when he was in high school at South Lake Carroll here.
Oh, yeah, you're down in Dallas. Yeah, he was one of the great Texas quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, South Lake Carroll. Every week it was 500 yards passing, 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Isn't he not even the best quarterback from South Lake Carroll? Didn't Matt Stafford go there?
No, that's Highland Park.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, my mistake. All right. As you were, continue.
Park, Clayton Kershaw and Matt Stafford were at Highland
we
Park
know
together.
that. Yeah, insane. All right, so what did you want to say other than telling us where a quarterback
what did you want to bring? You went back to Daniel, and what was it for, or was that the just the box score thing?
No, I was just telling you, you're right. He's a kind of a quarterback whisperer, and he's great at breaking it down. He also got University of Missouri.
Who would you
make?
The Steelers got themselves a guy in Drew Aller. That was Chase Daniel.
He was very excited. He said,
State.
"This is the guy we've always wanted to see." Who would you make the backup quarterback right now for this season?
Howard or Aller. Rudolph is the same old song. He, like you said, just that. He's the last bastion of the holdover from the Tomlin era. And we've seen it. We know what we got in him, and it's not that valuable at this point. I mean, he's a good egg. You know, everybody says he is, but it's time to move on. And if you can get a fifth or sixth rounder, my God, yeah, but that's a dream.
You know what else?
Sixth rounder.
You jogged something in my brain.
Thanks,
here
Dan.
With this call. Sorry, Dan. You just I can't. I got to get this out before I forget it again. Mike McCarthy has, in his career, really done his best work with, I would say, three quarterbacks, getting Aaron Brooks into what he was, obviously turning Rodgers into a Hall of Fame, helping turn him into with a mechanical adjustment, and then Dak, right? Mm-hmm. We would agree with that?
Yep.
All three of those guys have something in common. Mobile to one degree or another. In Brooks' case, pretty damn mobile. Dak's case, pretty mobile. Rodgers, we know what he could do on the run. Rudolph isn't. Howard and Aller have more mobility. I don't think there's like some extra ceiling with Mike McCarthy's system for Mason Rudolph because of that fact.
412-928-9370. Drew Aller balls out. Will Howard not too shabby. Should the Steelers cut ties with Mason Rudolph? 75% of people on our Twitter poll say yes. Is that what you think should happen? 412-928-9370. Are you buying into the idea that Drew Aller or Will Howard could be the Steelers' answer at quarterback after watching last night's game? 412-928-9370. Last caller just said, good riddance, Mason Rudolph. Is that how you feel?